When we lose a beloved pet, people often say things like, it was just a cat, or you can always get another dog. But those words sting because to us, our pets, they're family, they're companions, they're comforters, and so much more. Pet loss is one of the most overlooked forms of grief. It's what we call disenfranchised grief. And I've been doing a series on disenfranchised grief, and pet loss is one of the losses that we definitely need to talk about. Disenfranchised grief is grief that isn't always acknowledged. It's not validated or supported by society. But today, I want you to know that your grief is real. So let's talk about why pet loss is so unique. Our pets give us a kind of love that is truly unconditional. They don't judge, they don't criticize, they accept us exactly as we are. Good, bad, grumpy, happy. They love us. They're loyal to us. They're part of our daily routines. They're part of our family. The walks, the feeding, the little rituals that shape our days. We become responsible for meeting their needs. We become caregivers. So we feed them, we groom them, we take them to the groomers, we take them to the vets. When they're sick, we're watching out, we're taking care of them. And as caregivers, we really bond with our pets that way. They give us this sense of responsibility. And that act of nurturing can create a strong emotional connection, which makes the loss feel just like losing a family member. When they're gone, those routines feel so painfully empty and they're noticeable. Another way that pet grief and loss is unique is because pets live shorter lives than humans. So many of us are going to face that loss more than once in our lifetimes. And each goodbye may be different and feel different, but it never gets easier. That love and connection that we have with our animal, we feel the pain and we will feel the loss. There's also a special bond that we share with them that goes beyond words. The look in their eyes, the wag of their tail, or the purr when you walk into the room. That kind of communication is irreplaceable. Losing it can feel like losing a part of your heart. I know for me, losing pets, I feel that pain and I feel that grief. And this reminds me of my cat Spunky that has been gone now about 17 years probably. But we got him when he was so little and he wasn't ready to be taken away from his mom. So he was attached to us and we had to pick him up and carry him to get to his food and get to his drink and things like that in the very beginning. At that time, I lost my brother maybe a year into having Spunky, and he knew when I was sad. He knew something was wrong, and he was so little, and it's making me emotional. He would literally come up and lick the tears off my eyes and just sit there and just be with me. So that connection does go beyond words sometimes. They get you when other people don't get you. And he could just be just as mean, though. He would attack me in a hot minute. But when I needed him and he knew that I was so sad and down, he was there. So our pets are more than just a responsibility. They become part of our family and they play a role in our family dynamics as well. Pets often hold specific roles within families and their absence, they can disrupt those dynamics. For example, a pet may have been a child's playmate, or it could be a source of comfort for an elderly person or somebody who is anxious. They really do play a big role. And I think about the two cats that we got after Spunky. We got them, again, two cats that should not have been away from their mom yet, but the one was pushed away from his mom, so someone had to come and get him. So I came, and then they were like, would you like another cat? So we took these two cats, and Blackie and Brownie. One was black, one was brown. They were like so tiny. We had to feed them with syringes. We had to keep them on heating pads. We had to become their mom. My kids were little at the time, and they took those roles on too. And they connected to those cats. Blackie and my son, they connected. Brownie and my daughter connected, but then Brownie really attached to my husband. They are like bonded, like cannot leave each other's side. Brownie sits right by him, has to go where he's going, goes to bed when he goes to bed. Well, now he's older and he doesn't always do that. Both Blackie and Brownie, though, when the kids were little, they were their playmates. I have videos of the kids playing pickup sticks with them. They would dress these cats. They would play with them and they were like brothers to them. So Blackie really, like I said, became attached to my son. And if he walked out the door, he was crying. If he was out back playing, he would be by the window just meowing and crying for him, to the point where my son bought an outdoor pen so that he could bring him outside with him because he was that attached. Now, Blackie passed away last year. It's been a year. And that was absolutely devastating on all of us. And I think what made it even more devastating, and I know that people that lost a pet can relate to this, is that the role that they played in the family. I was mourning not only for the cat, but how much I know that these cats played an important role in our family and how important they were to each one of us, and especially to my son. And all those memories. Looking at family vacation pictures, it's just, and we did bring the cats on family vacations now that I think about it, when they were little because they couldn't be left alone. So going back, like looking at family vacation, like you remember things and you're like, oh, that's what it's like looking back my children's childhood. The cats were always there. We're always part of it. So it's not just like, oh, you can get another pet. This loss is deep for many people. I want to back up a little bit and talk a little bit more about the nonverbal communication, because I just thought about how pets, what I shared a little bit earlier about my cat Spunky, and how he would sense that I was upset and lick my tears or be right by my side. Pets really pick up on our emotions and the mood that we're in, and they communicate with us through nonverbal cues, body language, and their affectionate behaviors. Like they may come, if you have a cat, rubbing up against you, or like I said, lick your tears. A dog will come right by your side. And I think of my brother's dog, Hooch. That dog knew when stuff was going on and would be right there by your side. He sensed that you were upset or you were anxious. Like they know that. And this type of communication can be deeply comforting and create a profound bond. So losing your pet means you're losing that unique form of communication and connection. And that's something that is very different with pet loss and can be misunderstood by many, especially those who don't have pets. And the emotional impact that the loss can stir up is very similar to the same emotions that we might have when someone dies that we love in our life. Sadness, loneliness, even guilt. Like maybe we missed something. Maybe if we took them to the vet sooner, or if we could tell they were sick. I hear that in counseling, honestly, all the time. People thinking, well, maybe if I would have known, if I noticed they were limping a little bit earlier. It's very similar to when we lose a human, especially if we make that painful decision to put the pet down. Many people feel that guilt and feel maybe they could have done more, or maybe they had a little bit more time. Some people feel anxiety without the comfort of their pet. And that's really important to understand, especially if you support someone who lost a really close pet. They may become very anxious. Other people experience a deep depression, even physical symptoms like fatigue, headaches, changes in appetite. They're all real, and they are to be acknowledged, because this loss is a deep, profound loss for many people. I've had people come into counseling embarrassed, like they shouldn't be here because it's just a pet. It wasn't just a pet. Your grief is real. These feelings are normal and they're real. They don't mean you're weak, you're not normal, that you shouldn't be having these kind of feelings because they're an animal. I'm sorry, but some animals are better than people. So your feelings are real, and they mean that you love deeply and that bond was real, and you can't change that. Unfortunately, pet loss Grief is often minimized. You may have heard, like I said earlier, phrases like, it's just a pet. I don't even know what that means. It's just a pet. I mean, if you think about the money that is out there now that people spend on their pets, we have doggy daycares now. We have dog walkers. We have clothes for our animals. We have costumes for our animals. It's not just a pet. You can replace them. Yeah, maybe. But you can't replace that pet. That's a unique bond. Each pet's not the same. They are special. Especially, like I said, if you're growing up with that pet, you have these connections, you have these memories. You're creating a bond. If you get a new pet, you can create another bond, but it's going to be different. You can't just replace a pet. The old famous, you should be over that by now. Really? You feel that sad about this? Listen, you loved, you bonded, your feelings are real. Maybe the people who are saying that, they should be over it by now. I don't know, but it's one of the things that really bothers me. But the truth really is, each pet is unique. No one can ever replace that bond that you had with them. And I have many people who will wait a while before they get a pet. And grief does not follow a timeline. When others don't understand, it can leave you feeling isolated and carrying what I say, silent grief. That's why it's so important for us to start conversations about pet loss. We need to validate it, normalize it, and honor it. So how do we begin to heal when we've lost a beloved pet? 1, give yourself permission to grieve. Don't minimize your feelings just because others might be not understanding. Number 2, create ways to remember them. You might plant a memorial garden. You might keep their collar or toy in a special place. You might make a memory photo book. Rituals can help anchor us when we feel untethered. We have a little garden out back, and there's a little plaque. Show you in the picture up here. Little plaque and little sign, and that's where our pet is. That's where Blackie and Spunky are, and it's just a place that we can go and we can remember. 3rd, you can seek support. Like I told you, I've had people come into counseling for this, and that's okay. Grief is grief. You can talk with friends or family who understand, or online. You can connect with other people online. There's pet loss communities out there. There's the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement or Rainbow Bridge. So connect with somebody who understands. Sometimes sharing your story with others who get it can be profoundly healing. And finally, practice gentle self-care. I say this with all losses. Self-care is so important. Maybe journal, take walks, light a candle in their memory, volunteer if you can at an animal shelter if that makes you feel good. Rest when you need it. Take care of yourself. Healing does not mean forgetting. It means carrying their love forward with you. Losing a pet is losing family. Your grief is valid. Your love is something that will never fade. If you're grieving a pet right now, no, you don't have to go through this alone. In fact, I would love to invite you to share your pet's name or a favorite memory of them in the comments below. This way we can create space together where their lives are honored and remembered, because grief is love with nowhere to go. And sharing that love helps us heal. Until next time, continue mending piece by piece, one step at a time.